Well, again, the key here.
It's not only wet but windy out there in some cases. Pittsburgh, we're starting to get a little bit of that rain, and that is going to persist through the morning, and especially as you head northward of here, that's where you're going to be feeling it. Also a brisk start in many parts of the Midwest. But speaking of some of that rain, once again, we are also going to see it all around the Great Lakes region. That does include Cleveland. It is in and out. It isn't the particularly heavy stuff, but enough to cause a slow go as you're already bundling up this morning. So we'll talk more about the winds and temperature and this rain coming up. But first, Heather has the full details from the Northeast.
Well, some good news if you're maybe a displaced Minnesotan that wants to head back there down the road here. Southwest Airlines.
That would be me, except for the fact
and
that
Heather?
they don't fly out of, Southwest doesn't fly out of Atlanta, so that doesn't help you out too much.
You got to link up in their hub system, I guess, right?
Exactly. But if you are someone that flies in and out of Minneapolis, St. Paul, Southwest, a lot of people really love that airline, are going to be starting to carry some of those flights. So it was just announced yesterday. They'll give you a few more options on your flights. And
deal.
More options, sometimes you get a better deal. Now, as we continue on to some of our other flights today, we are going to see that we're not doing too badly, and that'll be the case for most of the day. So Washington, D.C., Miami, Los Angeles, all places that are doing just fine so far this morning. But when you continue on for the rest of the day, here's a couple of places to watch. That does include for Newark, we do have a wind configuration that could cause us a few problems today with those gusty winds. Same thing for Boston. And then San Francisco, a little bit more likely. We've got lower clouds. This includes San Francisco, Los Angeles, even San Diego, combinations of fog and low clouds. So watch out for that, both at the airports and also on the roads. That causes some concerns. Now, as we do get off to a couple of our other places this morning that are dealing with the rain, well, we have it almost lining up at times with Interstate 90. You can kind of see that right around the Great Lakes region. So as we zoom into a couple of areas, we have it this morning in Cleveland. It's been a wet go and pretty persistent, as I said, right across that Interstate 80-90 stretch. As we continue off and head westward on all of this, some sprinkles through Chicago. A lot of this is really light, but that is always just enough to sometimes ruin that morning commute. And then finally, the West Coast, another system is going to start to push in. So how that affects a couple of our interstates for us today.